Hello, my dear friends. Hope you're doing well. Today I come to you in a particular mood and feel, and I think this one is a big one, an important one to talk about. And I feel like this is a mood that creates sort of the difference maker. Today I have an off day from training, so I'm just doing a lot of administrative stuff, making content, catching up with clients, cleaning up some client emails, and it is kind of boring. Today I've kept saying over and over to myself, I feel kind of bored. I want to do something more exciting. And I think this is kind of what's interesting about the feeling of boredom, I think. Boredom is a real feeling, right? I'm not going to deny it, right? There are other things in your life that excite you, that make you more passionate, that make you feel more like there's a stirring within you of passion that's burning. But we can't do that all the time, right? Boredom itself, to me, it's kind of like a rainy day, right? I love rainy days, but I enjoy the rainy days. And without the rainy days, we couldn't appreciate the days that have sunshine and good weather and joy and all those things. So boredom is almost like an essential part of it that I think we all need to sort of embrace. And something on days like today, where I have to ask myself, when did you get too good for being bored, right? At one point in your life, remember when you were a kid, how bored you would constantly be, especially if you had parents. That's, doing adult, parents were just doing adult stuff, and I was a kid. I'd rather be doing something exciting like playing with toys or playing with my friends. But there were times where I had to do boring things, and I think as we get older as adults and we get more autonomy over our lives and more decision making over our lives, we can try to cancel out this idea of boredom in any process. Whenever I have a check-in with an athlete, one of my clients, and sometimes more than often, if the program is running well, if the nutrition is running well, I'll hear a lot of my clients say, "Not much to report this week. Kind of a boring week." For all my clients, my famous response to them always is, "Boring is good." I always say, when the storm comes, when the injury comes, when the disaster comes, when the 6-month-old baby comes, right? When whatever comes, you will be wishing and dying for these boring days. See, boring is a strange sensation, I think, to anyone who has to do a great capacity of work. Something like physique building or strength building or losing body fat or building muscle. Sometimes things can be going so well and so clutch and so routine that when we get bored, boredom almost becomes a new means for which we want to sort of self-sabotage ourselves. We literally in our head say, "I'm bored, give me something better to do." Now, I always have to ask myself this, and I always have to ask my clients this, right? If you're bored, the answer is not to just switch it up, to just do something new so it excites you. If you're bored, I think the answer is, why are you too good for boredom, right? Why are you too good to sort of embrace the part that is boring? Now, when I say boring, I don't want to confuse that with being underwhelmed, as in under challenged, as in you have a set of skills, and then you have a set of skills that is a certain capacity, and then you have a challenge that's at a very lower capacity. That's being underwhelmed. I'm not confusing boredom with being underwhelmed. I'm confusing boredom as something that's completely necessary in the process, right? But we don't want to commit to it with the same enthusiasm and enjoyment that we can do. So the cure for this, in sort of the following the process, is sort of the other side of the coin. When we're working and training and dieting and doing all these things, there will be moments of ecstasy, moments of, man, this is just what I do this for. You'll be reminded that this is why I'm here. I want more of this. This is what I want to do. But with anything you do, including this, right, including exercise and all these things, it's going to get boring. Now, I think most people, when they get boring, when they feel the sensation of boredness, try to latch on to another type of high feeling sensation, whether that means that they say, all right, well, I'm bored, well, let me dig in and go harder and find more grit, find more discipline, let me get more inspiration and go harder and try to get more intense, right? And this all the time isn't needed, right? If the wind is behind your sails and we're sailing in smooth water, just take the boring. We're getting to our destination, right? Boring is not going to kill you. What's going to kill you is you not accepting boring because you rather do something that's exciting. The exciting and the exciting and enthusiastic parts of the process are the rewards of the process, so to speak, right? The things that you have done day in, day out, whether they were boring or not, whether you committed to them or not, they will only come if you did do your due diligence to get them. The only thing that we can do, if we're not in a state in the process we're doing something that is sort of really excites us or makes us enthusiastic, is acceptance. Acceptance can be swapped out for submission, we can say as well too. And this is sort of trust. Accept the process, submit to the process, trust the process. If I had to really, really drive a point home, it would be you're not above boredom. I think that we live in a world now where literally there's always some type of hit of excitement. If I'm bored, I find myself literally opening my phone, right? Sometimes I'll be in the bathroom and I'll be going to the bathroom and I'll be bored with that. So I'll say, let me just scroll, right? Now, is actually scrolling any of you? Is scrolling and just kind of death scrolling, is that ever more exciting? Is that ever more enjoyable? No, right? We just think we're bored doing this, so we rather do something that seems more exciting. And oftentimes, these things hinder us more than just accepting the boredom. You would be better off, and all of us, I think, would be better off, if whenever your time comes to be bored, you sat silently, you let the boredom in, and you just felt what it felt like to be old school boring again. Remember boring back in the day? Remember nothing to do back in the day? Remember back in the day before we had all these thoughts in our head about maximizing efficiency and not wasting time in it? Things come out of the boring. Things come out of the doing nothingness, right? This whole universe was created seemingly out of just some nothingness, but it's all here. You were created out of seemingly just some nothingness, some very boring, redundant like space. The biggest sort of faux pas, or I think the biggest sort of logical fallacy that we sort of interpret boringness as, is this nothing's happening, right? When we're bored in our process as bodybuilders or as athletes or whatever you do in your life, you can think of the boredom as the part of the recipe where it has to sit in the oven overnight, right? If you know that Thanksgiving is coming tomorrow, it's an American holiday where we get together and families get together and we feast, it's very exciting, the moment where we all get together and laugh and cheers, right? But there's two parts to it. There's a preparation, which gets long, hard, and tedious and can be exciting for people. But then there's this part in the middle where the turkey just has to sit in the oven and we just have to all sit and sort of wait on it. Everything you do, every process that you have in life will have a stillness portion. And if we sort of forsake the stillness portion and call it boredom, that boredom will kind of be subscribed to us as the part I don't like, therefore give me something better to do. And that something better to do will be the wrong step. You can liken this to anything you do in life. You can be in a marriage or you can be in a family and you can say, yeah, it's really boring. And you going to chase some excitement, like let's say I'm bored, let me just do something more exciting, like I'm waiting on the turkey in the oven for Thanksgiving, but I'd rather just order some Popeye's chicken. I'm bored. I want it right now. I mean, sure, fine, but some people may be disappointed at you that you didn't wait, and where's your pay, right? And so it's the same thing that we do sort of when we self-sabotage ourselves, claiming that boredom is the bane of our existence and boredom is an enemy, and it just couldn't be further from the truth. I understand it's very important to have a lust for life and be excited for life and to feel passion, but it's very normal, I think, if you take away the internet from our day-to-day lives and plug back into something real, a real activity that still works on regular biological time. This goal that you have, it requires physiology, it requires biology, and that clock is still a dinosaur's clock. It's gonna have boring parts, and the best thing that we can do is that when we feel the boringness, have acceptance, and within that acceptance say, how can I go deeper into this mode of boringness until I strike some new gold, until I strike some new oil, and there's a new excitement that comes. So do not forsake your boredom for self-sabotage, because that is probably, I think, one of the most common things that I do and what a lot of other people do. And things are going well. The ship is sailing in smooth waters, but you were so bored and you just wanted to get excited and see what happens if we drop the anchor in. I don't know. I just wanted to see. Well, you know what you did. So, okay. That's all. I hope you're all doing well. If you're probably on YouTube watching videos, you're probably bored or you're probably in search of something. So hopefully this video is somewhat helpful for you on my day of a lot of boring and administrative work. So, okay, thank you. Thank you for watching the video. If you like the video, please hit like the video. I really do appreciate that. Leave a comment, give me some feedback if you're interested in that. Share with your friends. I've just been posting these and just kind of letting them ride. I have to talk about coaching. I make a lot of these videos because a lot of these ideas stem from real interactions that I have with my clients. And as I've been sort of coaching day to day, I've been hearing a lot of my athletes who are watching these, and it sort of feels like a communal resource of conversation that I just like to add to not only my in-house athletes that I have at 40CQ, but also to the larger community as well. So thank you all for watching. And if you're interested in any coaching, whether you want to gain strength, build muscle, lose some body fat, transform your physique, or just transform your life in general with this practice, please reach out. I'd love to talk to you and point you in the right direction, even if it's not me who's the one who can help you. So, okay, thank you all. Embrace the boredom. It's just, you got to let the recipe cook, man. All right.